I now eat a lot of meat, and so do they.
If you want to thrive, you need to eat meat. Meat is required. Hey guys, my name is Judy Cho and I'm board certified in holistic nutrition. And I have a private functional medicine practice where we focus on root cause healing. And that often starts with the Carnivore Cures all meat elimination diet. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Josh Feldman. He is one of the producers of the upcoming film Animal. Hi Josh, thank you so much for joining me on my channel. I'm really excited for people on my channel to get to know you better, understand the film that you've been working on, and a little bit more about even your own journey. And if you want to just introduce the film as well to the people that are listening and watching.
Animal really is a film that explores real healing. It took me many months to obviously put the research in place and understand your journey, having read your books, and everybody else's journey in order to kind of assemble this absolute work of art. I chose more of a literary way of doing things, so more of a kind of chapterized approach. There were so many themes and then sub-themes that I considered in this particular journey, and it took me many months to whittle it down to 7, and that was in conversation with you and Dr. Anthony Chaffee and Dr. Shawn Baker and our host Zane Griggs. So many months of distilling the information in order to arrive at 7 key chapters, and each and every one of them no less profound than the next. So we sat down, we started flinging around ideas, and Vinny, thanks to Zane Griggs, had himself experienced tremendous benefits from the carnivore diet. So he's like, why don't we make a documentary feature about carnivore? And I was like, well, okay, I'd heard about you. I'd heard about Dr. Shawn Baker and Dr. Anthony Chaffee, but I hadn't really delved into your story just yet. So I said, leave it with me. Let me do some research. Yours, by the way, was the first book.
Thank you.
Yours was the very first book that I purchased when I started this particular journey. Okay. I then went full carnivore for 4 months. And I can quite honestly say, hand on my heart, that I have never felt better. I've never felt better. And I have no conditions that I'm aware of. I'm fit. I do strength training in the morning, generally functional fitness. I've been a martial artist almost my entire life. And I do a lot of hot yoga. I also teach. So I teach, hot 26. And so, no conditions that I'm particularly aware of. So no other kind of agenda for myself personally, other than wanting to understand, as a fairly healthy, I think, human being, what the carnivore diet would do for me. And so most notably, I think, first and foremost, was the lifting of the brain fog. You think that your thoughts are clear. You think that you're functioning. You think that you're functioning okay. You think that you're functioning normally, right? Because you don't know anything else.
Right.
And then you try carnivore and, oh my goodness, clarity of thought. As a creative, as a filmmaker, my ability to just create went through the roof. And so increasingly, I was inspired to create a documentary feature film, having felt this incredible shift in myself that everybody around the world could benefit from. From an energy perspective, energy levels were consistent. I mean, you think siesta in the day is normal, and hey, depending on your culture and where you come from, sure, great, right? 10-20 minutes. And I'd been used to a kind of 10-20 minute siesta for the past, I'd say, 5 years. I just didn't need it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, just didn't need it. I had so much energy. Is incredible. I felt that we as a species have lost the ability to listen to our body. And so without giving too much, I really resonated with the Native American Indian story and where they come from and how they journeyed, for, throughout their evolution across the plains with the bison. And there is a deeply ancestral association with the animal. Okay, so and this is very important. I think that a lot of the comments that are already coming at me, people who are hearing that I've made this film are saying, "Oh, how, highly processed foods, big agriculture." It's not that. So, further down the line in the film, I'm jumping ahead now. We really kind of delve into big ag versus the notion of shaking your farmer's hand and making sure that the food that you come the food that you consume comes from a truly healthy, truly organic place. So understanding what's happening inside our bodies, because taking the time to understand that, which I know is very much what you say, listening to your body. What are nutrients? What are the nutrients that we as a living, breathing human organism require in order to be, which is what you write about. Do we need plants? Do we need vegetables? Do we need fruit? I know that you have so many of these conversations all the time. This is a big chapter for us. Okay. So that people can understand again the concept of, if we're going to eat vegetables, if we're going to eat fruit, what nutrients do we get from them? What does it affect from a hormone perspective, from an insulin perspective, from a fuel creation, burning perspective? And so, we look at the controversy of the food pyramid and how that was created. We touch on things like seed oils. Okay, so understanding what seed oils do in your body.